Okay, so I'm starting to get going on this yard sign project for our class of 2020 seniors, and I just want to do a little demonstration about what we mean when we say we need high resolution images because the images are starting to come in. I have about a quarter of them, and a few of them um, might not be big enough, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this because I'm a visual person. I thought maybe this would help. Um, so this is the template that we're going to go with right here for all of the seniors, and the photo that's submitted to me is going to be dropped right here in this mask. And so I'm going to show you an example of a high resolution image. I'm going to take that image and I'm going to drag it and drop it on top of the template. And you can see that it pretty much fills that space. And so that's like the ideal. It doesn't always work that way, but this one just happens to be almost perfect. And I'm going to clip that in there so that the border is where it's supposed to be. And I might even drag these corners out a little bit just to make sure that she fills the space and that I have no void in between the border and the edge of the photo. And so that is just like the absolute ideal scenario right there. Um, it's a vertical orientation, which means that the long sides are going up and down. That means I don't have to drag the heck out of it in order to get it to fit, but some horizontal pictures will work too, and I'm going to do a demonstration of that as well. So I'm going to delete this. This is the perfect example. This would be the example of a lower resolution. I'm not saying it's a bad image. It is a lovely image. It's just not as large. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like when it's layered on top of here. See how teeny that is? So just in its natural state, that's how big this image is in relationship to this big file. Now, why does this file have to be so big? Well, it's going to be printed, excuse me, on a 2 foot wide plastic yard sign. So we had to design this template so that it's nice and crisp and clear and not pixelated when it's printed on that large surface. And so the photo has to somewhat follow. So this is what happens when I drag this and make it big. I'm going to drag it so that it meets the corners there, and I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to clip it in there. And I mean, you can tell who it is. It's not awful, um, but it is definitely not as crisp and clear as the high resolution photo is. I'm not saying that I can't work with the lower resolution images. I'm just saying that the quality is not going to be consistent from yard sign to yard sign. So I just want to make sure that we have an understanding there. If you don't have a larger file, we will make do with what we have. Sorry, I'm getting text messages here. Um, I I am not going to pass anyone up just because their file isn't high resolution. So I'm going to delete this one out of here, and then I'm going to show you an example of a horizontal orientation. Horizontal means that the long sides are on the top and the bottom instead of on the sides. So I'm going to drag this one over the top, and as you can see, I'm going to have to drag it quite a bit. I'm going to have to stretch the corners in order to make this fit into that mask. So I'm going to make sure I cover up all the gray, and I'm going to hit the check mark, and I'm going to clip it in, and I'm just going to move it over so it's centered. And see, that works fine too because this is a high resolution image. So I would probably make this even bigger. I don't want to go too big because I really want the integrity of the photo to remain intact and not have it be pixelated. So that is the little demonstration that I have. I hope this brings a little bit better understanding. Now, this may not solve your problems if you don't have access to high resolution pictures. We will work with what we have, but if you have high resolution images, I would love to have them for this project so that we can produce the best possible quality project possible. Thank you.